Hi everyone, I'm Ty,
And I'm Josh.
and we're with PDubTV. Happy Pi Day, everyone. Hey Josh, I got a joke for you.
What is it?
Why should you never talk to Pi at a party?
Why?
Because it'll go on forever.
That's funny.
Thanks, man.
I got a joke for you too. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Pie.
Pi who?
Pie in your face.
Josh, this isn't whipped cream.
You're right. It's French onion dip.
Come on, man.
Well, anyways, have you ever wondered what a GOAT is? Grady is going to tell us about who the GOAT of basketball is.
The NBA has been around since 1946, and since then there has been something called the GOAT debate, which means greatest of all time. There have been two players that have been up for this conversation, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And today we will be interviewing three people, two students and one teacher, on how they feel about this topic.
Do you think Michael Jordan or LeBron James is better, and which stat stands out to you the most?
I am a LeBron guy. I don't even think it's close. I respect Jordan fans, but I seriously don't think it's close at all. I've been a LeBron guy since 2016, ever since he came back 3-1. And since he's been doing the same thing for the next 9 years, I think it's pretty blisteringly obvious who the best player of all time is. With that, the 40-year-old 25, 8, and 8 guy is probably one of my favorite stats, but also, he went to the finals from the ages of me being 5 to the ages of me being 13 in a row. From the age of 5 to 13, LeBron James was in the NBA Finals straight, and I don't care if he didn't win all of them because Michael Jordan wouldn't have won the championship with J.R. Smith as his second option either. And this guy was playing the Kevin Durant Warriors. Go look up the 2018 Finals and watch Game 1. And that'll tell you who the GOAT of basketball is. And if J.R. Smith wasn't drunk, LeBron James probably would have won that game, and the series would have been different. So my favorite stat is probably, the 40-year-old, but also the 8 straight finals is pretty cool.
What is your favorite LeBron moment/highlight?
There's a lot as a LeBron Glazer, but the chase down block on Iguodala in the 2016 finals is pretty cool. But also, go look up his Heat days. I mean, this guy was jumping over people on lobs. There's one play where Dwayne Wade tosses him up a lob on a fast break, and he dunks on Jason Terry, and then Jason Terry falls and dies. And they call him a tech for staring down, but that's like my favorite play of all time because LeBron gets about 98 feet in the air, and then he dunks on Jason Terry and the Boston Celtics' entire career. And go look that up.
Do you think Michael Jordan or LeBron James is better, and which stat stands out to you the most?
I think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James because he averaged more points, steals, and blocks in his career. He was 6-0 in the finals, and LeBron had way more better players, like all-stars in his career compared to Michael Jordan, but he still was better.
All right. What is your favorite Michael Jordan moment/highlight?
My favorite Michael Jordan highlight was the free throw line dunk.
So, do you think Michael Jordan or LeBron James is better, and which stat stands out to you the most?
LeBron James is better. Anybody that knows ball knows that box plus minus is just an overall great way to evaluate players. And LeBron ranks first all time in box plus minus, both during regular season and the playoffs.
All right. Do you think the era they played in affects your decision at all?
I've come to appreciate the eras that players played in, understanding that the game has changed is just common ball knowledge, realizing that some of the highlights that people used to do, like Michael Jordan, the famous up and under layup. I mean, Grady just did that against Fowler just this past week. You can look up Grayson Allen doing that on a night-in, night-out basis. Role players are doing those layups. So the eras have changed. The game has changed. The three-point shot has really changed things. A lot of people say it's ruined ball, but it's just a difference in the eras. I think that Michael would have been fine in this era. He would have learned how to shoot the three. I think that Brown would have been just fine in the 90s or the 80s or any era. He was an absolute tank. There's all sorts of clips of him going to the lane and finishing strong. So anybody that says that either of those guys wouldn't survive in the new era for Mike, old era for LeBron, I think it's just nonsense.
Okay. What is your favorite LeBron moment or highlight?
2016 Finals Game 7, blocked by James, Andre Iguodala. Everybody knows where they were when that happened. Flashball moment. Junior year, Mr. Lehman was so hyped for that. That was huge. Completes the comeback against the best team in NBA history. 73-9 Warriors. They were up 3-1. they thought they were good. Nobody ever had come back from down deficit like that in the playoffs and the finals. But the infamous photo of LeBron with the sunglasses on, the AirPods in, the little stat below saying that nobody's ever done it, but he got it done. That's what makes it. That's one of the many reasons what makes him the GOAT.
The Michael Jordan and LeBron James debate will most likely go on forever. People will always have their own opinions on this topic, and there will never be one true answer.
Thank you, Grady, for giving us a little bit of insight on who's the one true GOAT.
Next, we'll go on to Ty Thalen, and he will talk a little bit about the California wildfires. Over to you, Ty.
With the wildfires still raging in California, I bet you're wondering how they started and why they keep happening. We're going to be interviewing Pullman's Philly biology teacher, Mr. Kais, to take a deeper look at why some of these fires are starting in California. What are some things that you think are causing the fires in California?
Lightning. The most common source or ignition of a fire in wildfires is typically lightning. Second one is irresponsible people not taking care of their fires or not taking care of their trash or not taking care of their, it's simple little things. So main one is lightning, and then the second one is irresponsible people.
What are some things we could do to prevent the wildfires?
Controlled burns. Wildfires happen most often because you have too much fuel. And too much fuel and a small ignition. Now we've got California mess. Now we've got Canada mess. Now we've got, Upper Michigan does it correctly. They have controlled burns all the time. We don't have wildfires in Michigan as bad because we have learned through some bad issues in the 70s of having controlled burns and taking care of the fuel, which is basically all the dropped leaves and the dropped branches and the dead material that is there. That's the main thing, is get rid of the fuel source.
Do you think there are any changes that we can make to reconstruct our buildings that were destroyed?
There's a lot of fire retardant chemicals out there. Problem is some of the chemicals that are fire retardant are also carcinogens. So there are things we can do, and there's always new science that comes up that'll help us. But I think there's going to have to be done a lot of research on that to get us to where we need to get to for better construction materials that aren't going to be so unbelievably costly that people can actually afford to do it.
Are there any trees or plants like we could potentially plant that would be like more fire adapted?
There's some, but again, trees are fuel. So to find one that doesn't burn would kind of defeat the purpose of having a tree that would be usable for, kind of fuel. But there are some that would be out there that would be available, but we don't want to introduce non-native species because then you get into the whole invasive mess and taking out no local normal ecosystems and making it a mess. So I would stick with what we got.
Thank you, Mr. Kais, for talking a little bit about how these fires started. Fueled by powerful winds and dry conditions, a series of ferocious winds erupted on January 7th and roared across the Los Angeles area, killing at least 29 people, including some who died trying to prevent the fires from engulfing their homes and destroying thousands of structures. According to the California Fire Department, there have been a total of 48,000 total emergency responses, 319 wildfires, 57,000 acres burned, and 16,000 structures destroyed. California has worked with federal and local providers to help businesses and workers recover from the firestorms in California. The governor of California is working vigorously to try to help California rebuild. The wildfires in California are a very sad time in our country, and we should be sending all the help and support we can to California so they can rebuild as fast as they can.
Thank you, Ty, for talking about the wildfires.
Have you guys ever heard of the Pullman's Philly football team? Me neither, but Josh Spangle's going to talk a little bit about them.
PW football is looking to have another successful season. Last season, they were led by the Thalen brother duo, Ty Thalen and Braden Thalen. The team went on to beat Ithaca in the districts 17-14. The team is looking to get back to districts and perhaps go on even farther. Today, we'll interview a few players and Mr. Lehman to have some more insight on the team this year.
Well, football team's goals, we're going to try to structure it around kind of like how the Lions did this past year. We've got to work backwards a little bit. First goal has got to be winning the CMAC. It's gotten a little bit more competitive in the past years, so we've got to make sure we win that first. And then just work down the line from there, districts, regionals, states. States is always going to be that's the goal, that's the standard here now. Some of the kids might be old enough to remember it all happening. They've seen it happen, they know it's possible. And just have that experience, been there, done that. I like to think that helps, but I'm getting old now, so people are forgetting that stuff. So,
what is the team doing right now to be successful next season?
we got a lot of kids in other sports right now, which is great. We love multi-sport athletes, people playing basketball or anything else, I suppose. but a lot of kids are lifting in Mr. Babb's classes, getting after it, whether it be second hour or I know we got a lot of guys in second hour that are getting after it every day. A lot of kids coming after school with me and Mr. Babb during SNA. A lot of people are putting in the hard work 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Sundays there is a little bit more football focused lifting Sunday nights. And we run some routes, throw the ball around a little bit. Just the more you do that type of stuff, it's just like dribbling and shooting a basketball. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. So we're taking strides, step by step. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I'm really looking forward to this coming season.
Thank you, Mr. Lehman, for your insight on the team. We also interviewed a very popular player on the team, Trent Piggott, aka TP. Here's what he has to say. What are your thoughts on last year's team?
I think last year we had a pretty good team. We had a great win against Ithaca, and I can't wait to have a great team again this year.
So, what are your goals for this season?
Our team goals for this season are obviously win the CMAC, then hopefully make a big playoff push after the season's over.
This year's team is looking to be successful yet again. Make sure to come out and support the team this year at their games.
Wow, what an interesting segment. Wouldn't you agree, Josh?
I would have to agree. Well, anyways, we're Ty and Josh. This is PDubTV, and thanks for watching.
Pound it, noggin, see ya.